Hello students, this is our second video class of chapter 1 part 2. So first part we have studied about the transportation and how the transportation is going to occur. Transportation is a process in which substance absorbed or synthesized in one part of the plant or moved to other parts of the plant. And this transportation is done by conducting tissue, xylem and phloem, and we have seen about the various components of xylem and phloem. Then we have studied about transport of food, and the water absorption by the roots are done with the help of root as and speciality of root as we have seen, and the major movements of molecules, how the molecules are going to move by diffusion, osmosis and active transport. As a result of this, how the ascent of sap is formed and root pressure. So all these things we have covered in our part 1. Now we are going to see about transpiration. So we have learned that plants continuously absorb water through their roots. Okay, so this water is distributed through the stem to all parts of the plant, including the leaves. So the transpiration of water, that is xylem, is going to absorb the water and it's going to transport the water to all parts of the plants. So only a little amount of water is either retained in the plant or utilized by its during photosynthesis. So the roots are continuously going to absorb the water, but only the little amount of water is utilized by the plant for its life process. So what is going to happen for the rest of the water? Okay, so the rest of it get evaporated into the atmosphere as water vapor through the stomata present in the epidermis of the leaves. Okay, so the rest of the water are sent out by evaporation, that is, it is evaporated as a water vapor in the atmosphere. How it's going to evaporate, how it is going to sent out? Through a tiny pores which is present in the epidermal layer of the leaves called stomata. Okay, so this process is called transpiration. So in short, you can define the transpiration as the loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Next, transpirational pull. As a result of this transpiration, a type of force is created in the xylem vessel. It's a suction force. And this force causes the water to be pulled up from the xylem in the roots to the stem and then to the leaves. So this is what the transpirational pull. In short, the pulling force is called the transpirational pull. The pulling force which is created by the xylem vessel during the transpiration is the transpirational pull. Next, what are the factors going to affect the rate of transpiration? Sunlight, temperature, wind, humidity. Sunlight. So during daytime, the rate of transpiration is faster because stomata remain open to allow the inward diffusion of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Okay, so during the daytime, the stomatal pore is open, so it allows the diffusion of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. But during night time, the stomata remains closed and the transpiration hardly occurs. So this is the first factor affecting the rate of transpiration. Second one is temperature. So if you see, the transpiration will be faster during the hot summer days due to the evaporation of water, due to the faster evaporation of water. This is what the temperature. Wind. Transpiration is more when the wind is blowing faster as water vapor moves away faster. So when the wind is going to blow very faster, the water vapor also moves very faster and thus the transpiration will be more. Next is humidity. Transpiration is reduced if the air is humid. Air cannot hold any water molecule when it is already laden with moisture. Okay, so humidity, when the air is humid, when the air contains a lot of moisture, it is difficult for the plant to transpire. Okay, so the transpiration is reduced when the water is humid. Next is importance of transpiration. So first is cooling effect. Second one is transpiration helps in maintaining the concentration of the sap inside the plant body. Okay, cooling effect. So what is this cooling effect? In transpiration, water gets evaporated from the plant. We know very well. What is transpiration? Water in the form of water vapor, it is going to send out to the atmosphere. Okay. So, cooling effect, water gets evaporated from the plant, and the heat required for this evaporation, okay, the heat required for this evaporation is obtained from the plant itself, and thus the plant is able to cool itself when it is hot outside. Okay, this is what the cooling effect. Very simple, children. Water gets evaporated from the plant, and the heat required for this evaporation, okay, the heat required for this evaporation is produced, is obtained from the plant itself, okay, and thus the plant is able to cool when it is hot outside. So when it is very hot, okay, or during the hot summer days, the plant's going to obtain the heat required for the evaporation process, and thus it becomes cool when it is very hot. Okay, so now I think you understood the cooling effect. Next is uses of water in plants. So for what purpose and all this water is used? For transportation, for food production, for cooling purpose. Next is importance of minerals. So nutrient elements are essential for the plants to grow well. That is, minerals are very much essential for the plant to grow. So nutrient elements are divided into two categories: macronutrient, micronutrient. Macronutrient, the nutrient which is required in larger concentration; micronutrient which is required in smaller concentration. If you take the macronutrients, we have three numbers: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Nitrogen N, phosphorus P, potassium K. So in short, it is called as NPK. And if the plant is deficient with this macronutrients, the following symptoms can be occurred. If the plant is having deficiency of nitrogen, then the deficiency symptoms are yellowing of leaves, wrinkling of cereal grains. If it is deficient in phosphorus, it's going to show the symptom of purple and red spots on leaves, delay in germination. Potassium, it shows the poor growth. Micronutrients: iron, manganese, zinc. So iron Fe, manganese Mn, zinc Zn. Okay. So the following are the deficiency symptoms. If the plants are deficient with iron, then the symptoms are yellowing of leaves. Manganese, the symptoms are yellowing of leaves with grey spots, and zinc, D-shaped leaves and stunt growth. Okay, so these are the deficiency symptoms of these macro and micronutrients. Okay, children, with this chapter is getting over. Okay, following this you will be getting the worksheet. So with the help of this videos and PPT, you just try to answer the questions. Okay, and very soon I'll meet you with a new chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.